So the Swiss brand Gisada has already released a couple of hits. People have been speaking about the brand quite favorably on various social media platforms. Here is the brand new one. This is called Titanium. It sold out very, very quickly. I'm very excited to share with you my thoughts on this brand new 2024 release, so make sure to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on this brand new fragrance from Gisada, this Swiss-based brand, I'm going to tell you all about the notes, the performance, longevity, comparisons, all that pertinent information. But before I begin the review, I do want to mention that if you're a fan of fragrance-related content, reviews on brand new fragrances, top 10 videos, giveaways, unboxings, and also if you love smelling your best, hit subscribe, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. So, I know the original was more on the fresh side of things. A lot of bright bergamot, it was zesty, it was citrusy, a little oceanic, and yeah, I was getting comparisons to Dior Sauvage, and then they put out a version that was getting compared to Sauvage Elixir, a little warmer, a little bit denser, a little bit more resinous. This one, clary sage, tonka bean, vanilla, lavender. So looking at that note breakdown, it seems like they're going in a much different direction, and yes, I've had the opportunity to wear it for quite a while now, and I'm given to understand that this is a completely new olfactive profile, very different take, and I really love this one. Now, the big point of contention, I suppose, is do I see myself wearing this one in the hotter weather? Because I do find that it is quite dense, it is beautifully aromatic, but there's also a nice dose of vanilla and spices in here as well, with a touch of cardamom, if I'm remembering correctly. Nevertheless, I'm going to talk to you all about the smell in just a little while. Let's start things off with a quick look at the presentation first. So in the opening of this fragrance, you are going to get this delightful medley of sweetness, spice, and some aromatic touches. Now, yes, there is clary sage, there's also a bit of vanilla, and that's, chiefly contributing to the sweetness of this fragrance. And lavender is not working its aromatic magic alone. There's also clary sage, as I mentioned before. So it's this really nice duality of kind of creating this agreste accord and creating this herbaceous fullness. And the clary sage is adding this modernity to the composition. Lavender has been in use for such a long time, but it's only recently in the industry that we've seen this trend with sclerine molecule, and it's used a lot by Hermes and many other brands. But here we have this very bright, modern, sort of a youthful appeal to the fragrance, while still possessing some of those classy, distinguished elements like the cardamom in the opening. And so I really like that combination of the pink pepper, the cardamom, the aromatic parts, and the vanilla and the dry down. I was thinking about it, and yes, it is on the sweet side of things at times. I thought it came across a little chocolatey, and it almost for a split second reminded me of one of the Azzaro fragrances, probably the most wanted, or one of those flankers. I know there was one in the all black bottle, which I love, but there's so many that it gets confusing with all these labels and the minute differences in the naming and the classification. But nevertheless, here we have a beautiful, sweet, seductive, night out, sophisticated, elegant type of a fragrance. And the sweetness is definitely adding this playful nature to the fragrance, because if it were just aromatic and bright and fresh with a touch of spice, it would have been quite different. I would have said refined, special occasion, almost even on the serious side of things. But this is a little bit more laid back, a bit more, I don't know if jocular is the word to use, but it doesn't take itself too seriously. It's not completely stoic or apathetic, but it does have a bit of this playful nature about it that I think is done really, really nicely here. Please check out the new Titanium. Again, my only restriction on this one would be I personally would prefer to wear this one in the colder weather. However, if you're wearing it indoors in a climate-controlled environment, you can wear it whenever you want. If that's the case, maybe do 5 to 6 sprays. You don't want to go too heavy on the atomizer, especially considering the fact that the performance on this one is quite good. And this is an eau de parfum. For me, I got about 8 to 10 hours, so that's really good for an eau de parfum. That's above average, as a matter of fact. Let's go ahead and finish things off with my overall assessment. So first up, in terms of the uniqueness and the overall smell, like I said, the only comparison that I was able to make is the one to the Black Azzaro fragrance, or I think it's the most wanted, but nevertheless, this one does bear some similarities to that Azzaro fragrance. But aside from that, I actually find this to be pretty unique, and I love that combination of the lavender, the vanilla, without it smelling like Le Male, because a lot of times we think of vanilla and lavender, we think of Le Male, and I don't get that at all. Longevity on this one was 8 to 10 hours. Projection on this one was solid, I want to say, for the first hour of application. It never radiated beyond an arm's length, so it wasn't as citrusy as their previous offerings, but it didn't become an elbow's length scent until right around hour 7. So the projection was pretty consistent, but not super loud. In terms of the versatility, I can see this one appealing a little bit more to a younger demographic. I think this one is great for formal or casual. I think this one is perfect for the colder weather. And with that being said, the versatility on this one is pretty high. And as far as the presentation is concerned, well, with a name like Titanium, I think they did it justice here. My final verdict on this fragrance is it is wonderful. If you are a fan of fragrances like Azzaro's The Most Wanted, if you are a fan of those modern sort of vanilla tonka bean fragrances, but you want it to be a little bit stronger, a little bit more refined, a little bit more classy and elegant with amazing longevity and performance, please check out the brand new Gisada Titanium. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you took something of value from today's episode. If you did, please do consider supporting the channel by subscribing to it, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up. Thanks again for watching. I love you all. We'll see you tomorrow with a new episode. Bye.